Today on PDX Stew, we'll be cooking with Swati, the mother of two incredible kids, food lover, and belly dancer extraordinaire. Music from Portland's own Futuro Records superstar, Neo Geo, and we'll visit with local artist and educator, Ruth Lance. Hey everybody, welcome to PDX Stew. It's your man G Money, and today we are in Southeast Portland in the beautiful home of my good friend Swati Katakkar. Thank you for inviting us into your home.
Thank you.
We're really excited to be here. So today we're going to be working on some really simple Indian recipes. Indian food can be pretty complicated and overwhelming for people, but we're going to take some of the mystery out of it today, right?
Yes, we are.
So what are we going to be making today?
Well, we're going to be making Chole Masala, which is a chickpea dish, a chickpea curry, and we're going to be making something called a Kosher, which means salad, and we're going to be using cucumber and tomato and peanuts in that.
Cool.
And then we're going to finish with a mint chutney as an accompaniment to your meal.
Very cool, very cool. So we're going to start with the Chole Masala, that's the chickpea curry, and now that starts with a paste, right? Mm-hmm. So we've got all of our stuff prepped for that. What's going into our paste?
So the paste here has onions, it's got chilies, it's got ginger, and we're gonna grab a handful of cilantro and throw that in there. And then we'll be adding some dried pomegranate seeds that have been ground up. This is called anardana seeds. They are available at any Indian grocery store, but if that's not available to you, you can always substitute with lemon juice. It adds the same tartness that the pomegranate seeds would.
Oh, that's really cool. I've never seen that before. That's so beautiful. That's going to add a really nice taste to everything.
Yeah.
So we've got our stuff in this little hopper. This little thing is great because we can just throw this little top on it, and it works with my immersion blender. And so this just plugs right into the top, and then this will just blend that right up. And that's going to be the start for our curry. Now, a lot of curries start with a paste or a spice blend like this, right?
Yes, it's something that you cook down a little bit so that when you add the rest of your ingredients, it'll be kind of, it kind of will be able to meld into the flavors as opposed to adding them a little later.
And so we'll blend a little cilantro in here, or we'll just throw it in when we start cooking it?
We can throw it in when we start cooking it.
Okay, cool. So we're going to start that up in just a sec. In the meantime, we'll throw the anardana seeds in there.
Yep.
Cool. Is that going to get mixed in too, or just wait till that hits the pan?
I would mix it a little bit.
Okay. We'll blend that a little bit smoother, get that nice and incorporated in there. Let's talk about our cucumber salad. So we've got some, these are English cucumbers here?
Mm-hmm. I prefer English cucumbers. Usually they're seedless, so it's a little bit easier. And I slice them real thin.
And those are going to end up getting arranged on this plate with some of these cherry tomatoes, right?
Right.
Okay.
I tend to half the cherry tomatoes.
Okay, I can get started on that for you.
The Kosher is kind of a refreshing accompaniment to your Indian meal. Something raw, something crunchy, something kind of palate cleansing.
Yeah, super refreshing. Cucumbers are great for that. They really kind of clean things up. It's sort of a neutral flavor. It can kill some of the heat from really spicy things, and it can kind of elevate the flavors of some other things. Mm-hmm. Cool, cool. So we're going to get that all laid out, and then when I get some more cherry tomatoes cut up, we'll just kind of drape those over the top of the plate. In the meantime, let's start getting our paste going. So behind us here, we've got a pretty warm pan.
Mm-hmm. It has coconut oil. I prefer using coconut oil. You can use any kind of vegetable oil that you have, but I like things that have a high smoking point. And coconut oil is often used in South Indian food and cooking. And it imparts kind of a sweeter bit of flavor to the cooking, which I really, really like.
So I'm just chopping up a little bit of cilantro here next to my cherry tomatoes. Nice and fine. I'm not afraid of stems. Feel free to use them. They actually add a lot of flavor. This will go right in there. Perfect. And that's going to keep kind of browning in the pan for us. It's going to take a couple of minutes. We're going to start finishing up the cucumber salad for us real quick. And in the meantime, why don't you guys take a look at this?
Off the blicker, hit you with a lot of awesome. This the glitcher, poppin', switching, how we floss, son. Flipping the script is a gift that we giving out for what it's worth, huh? Dissing the hitch up, all day tripper, how the work done. This how it work, huh? Whistle while you work, nah. This how it work, huh? Whistle while you work, nah. This how it work, huh? Whistle while you work, nah. This how it work. This how it work. Play it out, blow loud, flying low, lurking in cloud. Lay over in NYC, so we stay in boogie down. Back in lane, lift off westbound, plane crack and main, smoke bellow out. Parachute, swoop, scoot out, still high when we hit the ground. This how it work, huh? Whistle while you work, nah. This how it work, huh? Whistle while you work, nah. This how it work, huh? Whistle while you work, nah. This how it work, how it work. This how it work while you. Yeah, this how we work, man. You know what I'm talking about? Like working by not working, you know what I mean? Like doing your own thing. Flying around the globe, man. Switching up galaxy, dimensional reality. Chilling at the goji tree, smoking spinach with green leaf tea. Chilling at the goji tree, smoking spinach with green leaf tea. Chilling at the goji tree, smoking spinach with green leaf tea. Chilling at the goji tree, smoking spinach with flavors. Tell me that and I'ma still do this. Sell me crap, I ain't buying it. Hella cats be lying, cause they dream is so dang selfish. Wake up, shake up, let me make up a new grid where everybody tastes love. Rake love, spread it, never forget it isn't what you think it is. Concepts exist so differently based on perspective. Tell me that. Constantly we switching out in dimensions. Game off, break off, better take off the lid that close everybody brain off. Thank God, get it, bless it, isn't ever what you think it is. Old soul, new whiz, patrol that consciousness. Old love, fluid, rolling over under all of this. Old soul, new whiz, patrol that consciousness. Old love, fluid, rolling over under all of this. Old soul, new whiz, woo way. Old flow, fluid, woo way. Old soul, new whiz, patrol that consciousness. Old flow, fluid, rolling over under all of this. Old soul, new whiz, whistle while you work, nah. Old flow, fluid, whistle while you work, nah. Old soul, new whiz, whistle while you work, nah. Old flow, fluid, rolling over under all of this. Old soul, new whiz, active, new whiz G, active, passive, yeah, active, new whiz G, woo way, we rock, yeah.
All right, welcome back to PDX Stew, everybody. G Money here. We're in my friend Swati's house here in Southeast Portland, and she's working on some curry paste back here for her chickpea curry. How's that going?
It's going really, really well.
Awesome.
What we want to do is kind of brown the paste a little bit so it doesn't have that raw onion flavor, but a little bit of a cooked one.
Okay, cool. And what else is we going to be throwing into there?
We are going to be adding some chopped tomatoes, and then we'll also be adding some chickpeas as well, some cooked chickpeas.
Cool. Yeah, we've got about 1 can of diced tomatoes here, and that's going to go right into the pan. Or you could use about 4 or 5 decently sized ripe tomatoes. It'd be best if you could peel those or seed them, but the canned tomatoes work out just great. Same thing with the chickpeas. We're using canned chickpeas here. This is 2 cans, 15 ounces each, or we could use fresh ones. Fresh chickpeas are really easy to work with. They cook just like any other bean. You just throw them in some boiling water until they're nice and tender, and then rinse them off, and you can chill them in water and hold them for a good week in the fridge in some water. So that's going into the pan.
I stir it around, and I also try and mash up the chickpeas a little bit so that they get a little bit more of the flavor of the curry paste inside of them. I'm going to go ahead and add some salt and pepper to the pan as well.
That's important. You always have to season your food. Whenever you hear cooks talking about seasoning, they're always talking about salt and pepper. It's flavor elevators. You know if you're using too much salt if stuff starts getting salty. What salt should be doing is just lifting all the other flavors in the pan. So in front of me here, Swati, I've got some ginger and some chilies and cilantro and mint and lime. This all adds up to chutney to me, right?
It does. We are going to make my mom's famous chutney. She just came up with it by eyeballing ingredients, suiting it to her taste or to her guest's taste. You can add as many chilies, as much ginger, as much cilantro, as much lime juice, as much garlic as you'd like, depending on what consistency you'd like, how spicy you'd like it, or anything else.
We're just going to use our little Cuisinart hopper again and throw everything in there kind of chunky, and it'll make a nice smooth chutney for us. Now, you know, some people like things spicy, people like them a little less spicy, so I'm going to take out the seeds of half of this jalapeno just to make it a little more accommodating to other people. The heat for a jalapeno pepper is usually in those seeds and in that rind that exists in the middle. So if you can peel that out, it's going to take that heat down a little bit. And so that can go right in there. That's cool. And then a little bit of cilantro and mint. So we've got, you know, about a bunch and a half, I guess they would say, of mint. And I threw most of a bunch of cilantro in there. We've got 2 garlic cloves, about an inch-sized piece of ginger, and we're going to add the juice of a lime.
The lime will give it that good sour, acidic flavor that's great when you're accompanying this with any Indian meal. It balances out with that koshimbeer, the salad that we're making, in the curry as well.
Cool, cool. And I'm going to throw a little pinch of salt in there just to open that up just a little bit. Nothing too crazy. And again, we can just throw the lid on our blender, and this should blend this up nice into a smooth chutney for us. All right, this is starting to come together. Oh, that smells so good. We got a couple of big leaves in here. I'm gonna work this around and kind of get that blended up a little bit smoother. But in the meantime, we're gonna take a quick break and show you something else cool that we think you might like.
Welcome to my studio, and this is my artwork here. I have some finished pieces and a couple pieces in progress. The idea for these pieces started a couple years ago. I started to think a lot about technology and phones, and social media has really changed the way that we look at things. A lot of my experiments are photography based, and I've done some things on scanner beds, and I actually see those as kind of drawings because you can do things very, very quickly digitally. It's almost like a sketchbook in a way. I kind of paint like a printer paints. I use cyan, magenta, yellow, and occasionally I'll use black. And if you look at the sides of my paintings, they're very, very thick. They have a lot of layers of paint, and then they have a pretty thick, like clear coating on top because they're trying to kind of replicate that screen experience but still have that kind of painterly experience. Being a painter in such a digital society, I feel like I'm constantly battling with that struggle. This work that I've just started is all based on imagery that is coming from the Oregon Trail video game from about 1987, which is one of the first kind of technological landscapes that I can remember. So that's kind of where this project will be going, is thinking about other ways that the landscape has been skewed through our view of technology and where that can bend, and I can manipulate that and filter that through painting.
Welcome back to PDX Stew, everybody. G-Money here and my good friend Swati Katakkar, and we're in her lovely home finishing up some really beautiful food. We've brought back the cucumber salad that we were working on before. What have we done to this?
We've added some minced chili peppers, as much as you'd like, to add a little bit of spice. We've added some unsalted roasted peanuts to add crunch, and then we finished it off with some fresh squeezed lemon juice.
Oh, it's right over the top there. You've got a really nice technique there. She's using her hand to catch any seeds that might be falling out. She's also got her lemon upside down. This is all very brilliant.
And then we're gonna add some finishing salt, and I love the salt flakes. I think they're really beautiful. They add a really good flavor, and they make it the perfect ending to this kosher salad.
Oh man, that is starting to look so good. Do you think that's all ready to go?
I think it is. It looks like the chickpeas are heated through. The flavors look like they've melded. There's more of a sauce happening in the dish.
All right, so now it's time for the best part. I got a plate here, and let's put together a nice little meal for us.
So today we made Chole Masala, which is a chickpea curry. We have our tomato and cucumber kosher. We have our mint chutney, my mom's famous mint chutney.
Now this chutney is pretty versatile, right? You can use it for all kinds of things.
You can use it for Indian meals. My sister uses it on deviled eggs. You can use it to dip chips in, whatever you want.
So we've put together a really simple Indian plate for you today, guys. I want to really thank my good friend Swati for letting us into her home today, and I hope you guys learned something and had a pretty good time. If you don't mind though, I'm gonna take off and eat a lot of food. Thanks for joining us on PDX Stew, guys. Have a good one, and we'll see you again real soon. Are you an artist, musician, or an innovator looking to showcase your work? Have you created a video you'd like to see on the show? Are you looking to address an issue that affects your community? Maybe you'd like to be one of our guest cooks, or just get involved. Folks of all ages, women, people with disabilities, persons of color, and the LGBTQ community are encouraged to reach out. Hit us up at pdxstewshow@gmail.com. Follow us on Facebook for the latest news and events.